Welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode, and our ever-descending pit of madness, which is trying to unlock Ender IO properly. And that's going to basically require a whole bunch of stuff. This happens to be the stuff we need to make titanium, and that is coming through here. And of course, titanium is the only thing that can make this simple machine chassis. So if we just have a look at that, just to refresh your memory, simple machine chassis absolutely requires titanium aluminide. There is no other way around it. Yep. And that absolutely requires, no matter what we do, titanium aluminide ingots. Don't think there's any other way around here. Nope, it's all the same. Yep, all the same. That, in turn, requires titanium itself, and then to be made. So, in an alloy furnace from Nuclear Craft will do the job. So it's just aluminium and titanium. Titanium is what we need to get to this stuff. And it does say obtainable through the Advanced Metallurgic Fabricator, which is this. Okay, so we input some magnesium, some salt, some carbon, and we get some titanium out with some chlorine going in. Okay, I don't think there's any other way around that, so we have to then do that, unless I can get rutile ore, I suppose, in an arc furnace. Does it actually spawn on? Nope, it does not in the overworld. Fine. So we have to get titanium, which means we have to get this machine, and to get this machine, we need all of this. However, some of this require earlier steps. Now, I did say last episode, things like we need lapis and coal just to be generated for us. I did do that quite easily. All I did is back here, you know where we've got our diamond sieves? I replaced a couple of the diamond sieves with flint stiffened mesh, and that starts producing lapis, and it starts producing coal and other stuff that we might need for, you know, those carbon plates, etc. So, yep, the lapis, there's a couple of stacks there already, and it's not processing very fast, but it's perfectly fine to just run in the background, so I don't need to mine for those things. However, there's more stuff that isn't that simple, and that's what today's episode is going to be about. One of it, or the first thing we need to actually get, see this fiery plate? It comes from your mob farm. Mobs quite handily drop the stuff. And we want to keep it. Now, if I look in the system, fiery, I have a couple of options there. But one of the things I actually need is this block of fiery metal. Now, fiery metal is pretty much a Twilight Forest thing. So we could create a portal to the Twilight Forest and go and take a look over there, where normal flight does not tend to work. So you have to normally have like it's a staff of, not Rending Gale, it's something like that. It's one of my other series. I think it's Project Ozone 3. Anyway, you tend to need a staff to actually get around there quite easily, which I don't have. But even apart from that, we should be able to melt this stuff down. You see fiery plate and fiery legs. We can just go into some sort of melter, whether it's a Tinker's Complement or Tinker's Smeltery. And as long as we have 646 degrees, it will melt into molten fire, which we can then cast into ingots, which will make into blocks. However, they're damaged, and we need to repair them. So we put them in an anvil with some fiery metal. Oh, wait. So we need some other way of repairing these things, which means we need to look at the powered anvil, which is a very, 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 very good thing, which needs some bits and pieces that we probably don't have. Item repairer in particular. So we need a couple of things there. Let me just actually put this into the system. The system will just tell us what we actually need. So let's just get the powered anvil. So powered anvil. So what do we actually have? This is a pattern terminal, which is what I was just thinking, wow, we have everything. No, we do not. And one other thing here, while I mention, remember I had some problems with this recipe, this one, and the two advanced versions. That's because I was putting them in here. They're not metallurgic infusers. Thanks very much to the commenter who pointed it out. I was just being an idiot, but at the same time, because these are made in it, I automatically assume the next ones were made in it. They're not. They are a regular molecular assembler recipe, so you can just put them in here and it will make them just fine. And you'll see over here there's these blocks we haven't seen before. They're all the blocks needed that are over here on the wall on the left-hand side. So I can just click on them and then it'll tell me, hey, you're missing so much stuff. Okay, so let's just put that in there. So that's the powered diamond anvil. And that means I'm going to need the item repairer. So item repairer. Not that we're going to need to craft more than one of these, but, you know, we want those to be basically easy for me to look up. Okay, so let's just dump that in there. And I'm going to clearly need to make more interfaces and stuff like that. But item repairers. So we're missing a few things. We're missing an Inori crystal. We're missing empowered Inori and empowered diamantine. Okay, and then ender casings. More importantly is the empowered stuff. Now I have both of them over here on the top left. I did do a little bit of preparation to take a look at what you actually need to convert over. So we've got mana diamond. We know we can make that. I needed to reset up the Britannia thing again because we moved base, remember. So I do need to improve that a little bit to get continual sources of mana, but that's for another day. Or maybe even I'll do it off camera, or maybe even show you. We'll see. Manulin, we know we can already make that. Malachite. Now, Malachite, do we have any in the system? Malachite. Nope, we do not. Where is Malachite from? It is from Malachite Essence from Mystical Agriculture. We're not into Mystical Agriculture yet. We can sieve crushed Endstone, and that will work. However, drop chance 5%, so we're probably going to need quite a few of these. We're going to need stacks and stacks of crushed Endstone. And that means we just need to get regular Endstone or compressed, either way, it doesn't really much matter. You get the idea, so regular Endstone is going to be fine. So is there a recipe for Endstone? There is. Good. It's the usual recipe for Endstone, which is stone barrel, lava in it, generated by something, and then glowstone put into the top. So we're going to need a way of generating glowstone, and we'll need a way of getting Endstone out of here. So glowstone, again, going back a little bit further, getting that is soul sand, and soul sand, in turn, we can make with wither dust and sand, which is, I guess, interesting. How much of that do we have? Well, we certainly have enough for 60. The system's a little bit delayed now. It may well have caused issues. How much wither dust do we have? Wither dust. Yeah, we have enough for another batch of these, maybe. So we have enough for some soul sand, but that's not going to keep us going longer term. So soul sand in general is usually requiring sort of long-term... Oh, in fact, I've got quite a lot of soul sand. I must have gone across to the nether and actually started processing it. I will leave it alone for now, because we can just use up that 1,000 soul sand and basically sieve it. If I put that in a sieve, does it matter which... it has to be iron stiffened mesh. Okay, can I sieve anything else? I can. Diamond stiffened mesh is fine. But if I use flint, it turns into nether quartz. And I've got 2 flint and I can't control which one it goes into. So, yeah. Although it should distribute it out and I don't mind getting into the quartz either and blaze powder. So I'll tell you what, let's just dump this. Okay, all of it. And let's go and see if I can, or if I've got a position down there I can just drop this into. We need a container in the way, really. But let's see if that's around. So popping down here. Down here. Right now, I think this is how I'm going to do it. So let's just dump all of that in. And that's starting to input soul sand, which is not going to be able to go anywhere unless I set up a couple of more things. So I'm going to need one basically draw for each of those things, which is fine because I already created... Oh, I've got 2. Fine, I guess. Nether quartz and not gold powder. Glowstone. There isn't a glowstone already assigned? Nope. So that will do just fine. I can just disconnect from here and obviously need to throw this stuff back in. But I can disconnect from here and add more drawers on to fill the rest out. I'll leave that alone for now, but let's just throw all this stuff back. Wow, that's quite a lot of stuff. That'll all get pulled in by the system. Not sure why it got ejected like where it did, but yeah, that's fine for now. There you go. And there you go. Fine. That's going to start generating glowstone for us, which we can then turn into what we need to, endstone, by processing it, which means we need a method of producing lava, which of course we don't currently have, and that lava generation would also be useful for a couple of other reasons. One is basically Britannia. Britannia has good options for using lava to generate mana, and I'll show you where I've put the Britannia setup. It's just over there, just the old setup that we had originally. And then one other thing is platinum. Now, I remember when I told you last episode we need to make modularium, and platinum is a bit awkward in terms of how you make it. It's all these things which you can pretty much make in Powered Palace. We've already got a recipe for, if you remember. We created this recipe. But we have a shortage of some of these things. Yes, one of them is platinum, but platinum happens to come from nickel. If you put nickel through a pulverizer, like this one, which behind the scenes I have an automatic export bus and an import bus, basically dumping nickel ore in there, and occasionally you get platinum, just like a 10% chance. So let's see how much platinum we've got. We've got a couple of stacks, which is nice. That's actually probably enough-ish. And how much nickel do we have left? 273. I'm going to need more nickel. But I have it set to automatic, so if I just do this and just convert it all over to nickel, you see an idea of 440, etc. And pulverized nickel is now going up because that's how much I've processed. So I've processed exactly half that in nickel ore, so it's like 1300 ore gone, 400 nickel back. But that all comes in automatically anyway. Fine, so that's a bunch of different stuff we got through the episode. First of all, then let's look at lava options. That is simple enough. We just need to get a magma crucible, or if you're Dr. Evil, magma. Let's just get that down and we can put that wherever we like. We're just going to start generating lava. That would actually be a good thing for me to use my existing system for, to store... remember, we've already got a fuel source in our system, and I think we still have space on that card, on that sort of crystal, for more fluids, unless it was gas. It may have been gas. Is it gas? Yeah, it's gas. Of course it wouldn't be the thing I want. How about then just giving me a liquid cell? So how about 4K? How about 4K liquid storage cell? Fluid storage cell, there we go. So we want one of these. Yep. And I'll basically encode it because why not? And 4K ME fluid cell. Okay, still one of those. And again, the 1Ks. There we go. And each of those, assuming that I have enough space in my molecular assemblers, which I don't, but I can just sort of save a little bit of space there. This should then let me store lava, and we can just dump the lava straight out of our magma crucible into the system. So 4K ME fluid storage cell. What are we missing? We're missing buttons, which is just stone. I really should add the recipe that just tells it how to make buttons, but you know, it's just such a trivial thing that I never even think about it. There we go, just have some buttons. Okay, 4K cell. 4K ME fluid storage, well, that's the component I want the cell. Fluid storage cell, there we go. Okay, that's going to start crafting. We are also going to need a sort of fluid import bus, and that's going to go right in there. I'm just going to leave it for that. How quickly are you making? You're making iron plate and said quartz dust. Although the quartz dust, I'm not sure how it's actually making that, but it certainly can't use that pulverizer. In fact, I don't think that's fine. This is automatic. It's not an on request thing. So we're just going to put this magma crucible down somewhere, probably downstairs somewhere, hook it up to power, and then we'll have the system just continually making lava. How it's going to do that is just basically burning up stone. We've got plenty of cobble, a couple of thousand of it. We'll just again get an import bus and export bus. It has to be a fluid export bus, not a regular one. So fluid export, there it is. So we have to craft one of these, which I'm short of a piston and a formation core, but I can just tell the system to craft one of those. Formation core, yes, one of those, and a piston as well, please. One piston. Okay, and that should basically let me do that. We get two part of every recipe. Core, formation core. There it is. So there's a fluid export bus, and we want an import bus. We'll tell it to craft one, and that shouldn't take very long at all. That will then do us, and we'll just basically put cobble through there. You can choose other things as well, but yeah, it's just going to work fine, I think. Cobble. And we should be good to go. We've got energy conduit, we've got smart cable, and I can put that down. And there we go, we got that placed down. I did get I got it the wrong way around. We need an export bus to pull cobble out of the system, and a fluid import bus to basically push the lava into the system. And yeah, I got it the wrong way around. Ignore that. So that's going to import export cobble, get that the right way around, and import lava just from the back there, and that's going to work fine, and already has actually done that indeed. So we can just put this facade back again, make it look all nice, and that's going there. So that is not outputting, by the way, to the right hand side where the fluid transposer is. It's just dumping straight back into our system, which means I need a liquid terminal. Do I have a terminal? How about a liquid terminal of some kind? Fluid terminal? Yeah, that's a regular A2 thing, so we shouldn't have much of a problem doing that. No, we just need a ME terminal in the first place, which needs an annihilation core. So, core, annihilation core. Okay, and that shouldn't take it very long at all, which will then let us make the liquid terminal. There it is, annihilation core, one terminal, and then terminal here will give us that. So let's just get that going. There it is, one fluid terminal. And then I guess we just got to decide what block. Whoops, I didn't mean to. Nah, never mind. I will just break these things. But yeah, let's dump that down. So we'll continue to have, I don't know, why don't we just put the stuff up here anyway and have it facing forward. That will do. So we have fluid on the left and gas on the right. And then in the center, we can have our interface terminal back. And of course, I can put the facades back around to get everything running. So that will go there. And we'll just put these around, just to have everything covered off, everything look nice. There we go. Cool. So, yeah, a bit of an eye shape, but that's fine. So, fluid terminal, we've got 2 buckets of lava. Great. And gas terminal, we've got 32 buckets of ethylene. And we're all good to go. So, we got lava now, and we can then use that for other things in the future. So, stone barrel then, that will let us make something that can make our Endstone for us, unless I don't think I have any Endstone in the system. No, it'll make our Endstone for us. We can go and harvest some from the end if we want to head over there. In fact, what does an end cake actually cost? Do we have end cake in this? We do have an end cake. No. No. Well, maybe. End of case. Oh, no. Yeah, the things we want to make, we need this to make them, and around and around we go. So let's make some of these, maybe think about going to the end, and from there we can then obviously get other things. Now, remember I said we were going to be making this, that malachite was one thing we looked at, the other thing was this zirconium dust. This is the thing we've also not looked at, and that is fairly straightforward, you might think. It's diorite, and we can make diorite, it's just nether quartz and cobblestone. That will make zirconium dust, but that needs a rock crusher. The rock crusher in turn needs depleted uranium plating, and that in turn needs uranium, as you might imagine. And that needs the next thing, which is the Isotope Separator, which we go back through. And this one actually isn't too bad. So we could actually make that. Basic plating, electric motors, etc., etc. So that one is something we can make, so we can get to this plating if we can get the uranium in the first place. And yeah, uranium ingots we are going to need to process. Well, yellowite is one of the things from extreme reactors, but can we actually get it from uranium or from immersive engineering? Yes, we can. And I suspect that's just going to be pretty much anything. Yeah, various different options in an induction smelter to get that back out. And how much of it do we actually have? We have a little bit. We have the uranium ingots already. So once we start getting those done, then we can get this all done. So let's just see how much of this we actually have. So we need machine chassis and electric motors. So electric motors, let's just craft 2 of them. Can we actually make them? We need copper solenoids. We'll make those. And machine chassis. So let's get the chassis. Can you make everything you need? No, you're missing lead. But lead is actually quite an easy thing to actually create. We've got just basically lead ore we can just dump in a furnace. That's perfectly fine. And then how about those copper solenoids? I do have 2. It just won't let me. Unless I need 2 more of them. Yeah, that's why. Okay. So to make those, I need a few things. Yeah, mixed metal ingots, which I already have. Okay. I'm just missing copper plate, it looks like. Yeah, copper plate. So we'll just tell it to make, I don't know, 4. And that should be enough to get basically all of our copper solenoids, I would imagine. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hopefully 3. Come on, 1 more. There we go. Copper solenoids, 4 of. That means the chassis is on its way. That's the lead. I need to go and dump that into a furnace somewhere. Do I have any furnaces up here? I do not. I'll go and dump this downstairs. And the system's now crafted them, so we should be able to just shift click this in. Isotope Separator, which will get us the first stage, which is what we're going to have to use the rock crusher for. We need to make depleted uranium plating, so we need uranium 238 or 238 oxide. I'll take the 238, I think. And that is as simple as dumping in uranium ingots, and we're going to get this out. Whether that's going to be safe to handle, well, you're about to find out. Or at least you're about to watch me find out, and you can laugh. Okay? So we're just going to need 4 uranium ingots converted per plate, I would imagine. Is that per plate? It is. So I'm going to need 16 uranium ingots. How much do I have? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's just dump this down somewhere. Do I have power available somewhere? Yes, I do. Okay. And let's just dump that in. Off it goes. Don't need to do anything else. And then let's see if it's safe to handle. Yes? Good. So it's not like IC2. I'm happy with that. And 235 as well. Okay, fine. So we will just process those, and we'll get that made into depleted uranium plates, I guess. It's all been well with a little bit more auto-crafting. Now, most of that should actually be provided, which just leaves the chassis, which the system hopefully can actually make. Yes, it can. So that's going to be made, and everything else is being done. So the motors, the system can now auto-craft. It can also auto-craft linear actuators. They're all the same kind of ingredients, so I'm not going to show those. These DU platings, it can craft as well. It just takes a few ingredients, and there is our rock crusher. So the rock crusher is going to be useful, and yep, rolling stones as it might be, but yeah, so that's the rock crusher done, and then that's sort of heading us towards what we need for this. So malachite, rock, is it the rock crusher for the malachite, or is it for the other thing? I need to double check. Not for the malachite, it's for the zirconium, so we need to just basically make diorite, and if we just basically shift click that in, I can make a stack of diorite, and that should, if I dump it in the rock crusher, start processing. And that should process into zirconium and a couple of other things that I don't need just yet, but we'll have them. So that's one of the ingredients for this. That's this ingredient. We know how to make manulin, we know how to make mana diamond, which leaves malachite being the last thing for getting empowered diamantine, which is one of the steps for then getting to the powered anvil, among other things. Okay, so empowered inori crystals then. Yeah, sorry, not empowered inori. Empowered diamantine. We need to then look at malachite, and that is where we need to get the endstone from. So with our stone barrel we've got in our inventory, we're going to need to get a couple of buses again. So we're going to need a fluid export bus. So it's a good job I actually made it. Yeah, he says intentionally. And we were also going to want an export bus from the system because we're going to export 2 different things, and I'm out of treated wood planks. That is annoying because I haven't reset up the thing that generates treated wood, which I need to. Let's just get that down. Maybe use these. The tank, where are you? Yeah, and a bucket. I've got at least only a couple of buckets left, but it should do just for this one thing, he says. Probably needing more. Oh, whoops. Will it actually work with non-oak planks? It will. Good. And let's just use up the last of this and convert it all. There we go. And all that can go back in the system. This is now empty, so it can be reused, which I enjoy immensely. And that's good. So fluid export bus, and I also want the other bus. So I want basically the item export bus. You can now be crafted. Both of those will get dumped in, and then we're going to need to pull out an item, which is also going to need the the regular import bus as well. Good. We'll then need some smart cable, and we don't need any power for this whatsoever. However, I did notice, if you have a look here, we have 4096 gas bytes used. Okay. And if you have a look in here, it says 34 4096 bytes used. That's for fluid. That's lava. Okay, so lava, we have 18 buckets. Okay, and it's 34 of 4096. Okay, gas, we have 32 buckets, and it's 4096 of 4096. So it's really not very efficient storing gas like that. But as far as fluid's concerned, we're going to have plenty of room. So that will do just fine. This isn't going to need power, so it can go anywhere that our A2 system will go. So that's going to work fine, maybe. Well, we can even put it in the middle for now. It doesn't much matter. How many channels have we got? 19. I don't really want to put it in the middle, but I haven't really got an area for this. We need to have like a processing area. But for now, I'll put it through here maybe. Yeah, let's just dump it off the end of here. So we'll just build this into the wall. Okay, and then we need to put our stone barrel down. Stone barrel can go there. Okay, so onto the back, we want to export lava, essentially. But you can do it whichever way around you like. But fluid export bus. We're going to need a bucket to go and get that. So we need to come back here in a second. The front, I'm going to basically import, I should say. So the front, I'm going to selectively import the Endstone. And once we've made one, we'll be able to do that. Or you can just pull everything. We'll see what happens in a minute. And then onto the top is where we're going to basically export our glowstone, which we have in our system. All right, so that's 3 things. And that means I can just connect these up with cable. There we go. I'll just basically break these blocks for now, so I can just go and configure everything and go and pick stuff up. We just need to connect with you. Okay, and that's that done. So 1 bucket, I'm going to need a bucket of lava. I'm going to need a glowstone. And that's pretty much going to be it, I think. So let's just grab a bucket. Bucket. And remember, I don't currently have infinite cobble. Just because I didn't bother. So this is eventually going to run out. But mind you, we know we can make material stonework factories, and they will produce us infinite cobble. So you get the idea. I'm not going to need to do that on camera. And glowstone. Glowstone we got 175 of so far. I'll just basically get 1 there. Now it shouldn't be able to basically dump this into that barrel unless it's full of lava. So if you ever run out of lava, this isn't going to produce any more endstone. But everything else should be fine. So there's our fluid export bus. Oh, I need to go and get the... 1 second. Here we go. So fluid export bus, lava. And hopefully that is going to... Yep, there it is. It's feeding in very slowly. Can I speed that up just with just 1 acceleration card maybe? Yeah, it's full there. That's fine. And then we're going to tell it to dump glowstone in there. And that's been made. And it automatically gets pulled into the system. So good. Yeah. That's pretty much faster than I thought it would work. And it's just going to continue doing that for as long as we have basically lava and glowstone. Of course, lava is going to be a slower generation than glowstone, so we should always stay ahead of this, I would think. At least until we run out of the stuff, because remember we've been doing soul sand. Is that run out of soul sand yet? Oh, and this needs to be blocked off so this doesn't happen. Let me just get a block there for the time being. And let's just see, is all that soul sand used? Because I can always go back to the nether, get more. Yeah, it's already used. It always goes back to the nether, get more, but at the end of the day, we probably... Oh, this is probably why it's blocked on blaze powder. Yeah, let's just make sure that doesn't happen. I can go and get another drawer and get blaze powder put in there. But for now, that's fine. And in fact, that reminds me, remember when we made the wither killing box? Yeah, we're just going to use this advanced item collector. It should be much faster. So let's just get rid of this and this. And let's just get that attached there. And then, hey, let's just get out of its way. And that should start collecting. So let's just dump that. So Control Shift Q just dumps basically everything underneath your mouse when you basically press the Q button. Very handy to do. And that's, I don't have a gas tier drawer just yet, but everything else I do have. And that is working. You see it's picking up pretty much immediately. And of course, I don't need any sort of cabling system connected to it at all. So yeah, that's working quite well. I need to get some more upgrades to show fill level of these things. as I'm doing over here, just so I can glance at it when I'm going past, and make sure that none of them are full, and that would start blocking the system up, of course, if that happens. So I just need 3 more drawers here, and then maybe we'll, figure that for the end of the episode. And the system is now finished making those upgrades, I would imagine. Upgrades, I'll show what the mushrooms are for in a second. Yeah, there they go. So there's our fill level upgrades. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can see that's actually quite 11 stacks of nether quartz already. So yeah, I quite like that. Yes, mushrooms, I was going to say. You can use mushrooms in a metallurgic infuser. If we just put dirt in there and 1 mushroom, it will convert dirt across to mycelium. Why do you want mycelium? Well, mycelium happens to be handy for turning water into witch water. It's gone into our system. So if I just look up mycelium. So yeah, you put that with a stone barrel, another one. Stone barrel. Yes. Even a wooden barrel actually is fine for this, I think. Yep, so wooden barrel is fine. Basically put this on top and then feed water into it. Now, of course, we don't have water in our system yet, but we did just craft that, but we don't absolutely need water like that. What we could just do is have this over here as well, rather craftily. Well, not that craftily, but we could have our mycelium right here. Okay, and dump that down. Put our wooden barrel here. Okay, and then we just need water. And, well, we have a water source and auto outputs. So that's going to start transforming into witch water. And all that means is we need to just put on this side, just right next to here, a fluid import bus. And that will start importing witch water. You could also have it connected to your, your infinite water source here, and also have regular water in the system. Of course, you're using up a common amount of bytes. So remember that that's shared with your lava, shared with your witch water, shared with water, because every other fluid you put into that 4K is all shared in the same byte count. However, this will work just fine. To make sure you only pull in witch water, you just wait for this to transform, grab it with a bucket, put the bucket in the filter for the fluid import bus, and away you go. And that will work fine, I would suspect. Why would you want that? Well, because you put that witch water in another barrel, and the witch water you can pass sand into and make soul sand. That's a slow way of doing it. Oh, that's quite pretty. I do like the reflections off surfaces with shaders. Yeah, it is quite a slow way to do it, but it is a continual way of doing it. And I do very much like that as we head towards this whole long chain of stuff to unlock Ender.io. So today, what we've got done is heading towards our diamantine crystal. We've got this done. Zirconium should be finished. Over here. Yep, zirconium, crushed carbide. Wow. Carabite. Why is there 2 eyes in that? That's horrible. Fluorite and zirconium. So yeah, we can easily make more of that because it's just diorite. It actually filled up clearly, the energy is being replenished. So we need to go and look at that, and there we go. So we can put that in our system. So that's 1 ingredient of the empowered diamantine. Mana diamond, that's fine, that's fine. This one is on its way. It's just going to need us to get more endstone, which will just happen slowly over time. So that's going to happen behind the scenes. This apparently does generate, but it is 0.01%. That's even worse than the platinum generation. I do not want to do that. Yeah. The other option is we could go for a heavy sieve with diamond stiffened mesh and get compressed ender gravel, which is just endstone. Crushed endstone, so there's no efficiency there. All of this is the same ore that is really, really slow to generate, so I don't think there's any other option other than sieving endstone here. Does not look like it. Malachite dust. Can we get that from anywhere other than just malachite? I suspect not. Fermented ore meat. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Tiny pile of malachite is just from malachite, so that's a circular recipe, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, if anyone knows any other way of getting malachite, I'm more than happy to hear it. So that's going to be the 4 ingredients for this. We will be getting to that pretty soon. And diamantine itself is just diamonds and a reconstructor. There's nothing there. And then the other thing we need is not just the diamantine, but it's the other component. It's not the empowered palace, I don't think. It's the other component for our powered anvil. What is it? What's the powered anvil again? Powered anvil. Powered anvil. Item repairer. Oh, okay. So it is just powered inori. Yeah, that's fine. Powered inori. Excuse me. Bone blocks. We've got plenty. Find them out in the world. Block of quartz. Easy. Osmium, also easy. Fluorite, well, we have crushed fluorite, which we just got. And if we create a pressurizer, it'll create fluorite. So from diorite, we get everything we need there. And this is all the same kind of stuff. Advanced plating, we can already make. This we can already make. All of that is easily makeable. Constructible in the system. So yeah, there is no problem doing the inori. It's mainly down to just the speed of waiting for other stuff for this now. So we're going to want to make a few of these and get the sort of recipe that unlocks a few more other ways of doing it. And that may well be doing this. Basically making 4 ender casings. So 16 empowered diamantine we're going to need. And the ender casings will then head towards making basically an end cake. And that's how we get in there. We're just going to need 4 cakes otherwise, which is usual kind of stuff. And then an end crystal, which we can make just like that. Well, let's just make one because we got a spare ender star basically made. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, we just need to get those to get to the end, really. And that's where everything should start opening up. For the time being, however, that's the end of the episode. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And hopefully we'll get to the end next episode. Hopefully, not the end of the series, but certainly the end dimension. And, well, we've got a Shuriken and we've got a dragon to kill. We're going to get there soon. All right. So thanks a lot for watching. As always, guys, feel free to click on the like button, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. More importantly than all that, put comments down below on suggestions on how to shortcut my ever-descending madness trying to just get one very, very simple thing, which is Ender IO, which is a very simple quest, it looks like, but it turns out to be horrendous. Anyway, thanks for watching.